Hi, today I will be talking about how my film opening uses and challenges conventions and how it represents themes and issues. First off is location. The bedroom is prominent in coming-of-age films because it's considered a safe haven. I kept it as the main setting, but I also turned it into a resented setting. In my film, isolation has ruined the idea of the bedroom, which contrasts the ideology of personal space. The opening also sets up for there to be no other real settings other than the home, the bedroom, and the lawn. In coming-of-age films, there are other settings such as school, work, and parties. This would not work in my film because the idea is loneliness. Generally, all of the props that I used followed the conventions of coming of age. They are all things that a teenager would typically use. The only difference is that the laptop is used to substitute school. The role of the best friend is something that I thought would be important to keep. Not only would this be Avery's only external connection, but the character acts as a coping mechanism for the main theme of depression that I will be talking about later. I wanted to establish Ray as an independent character, but I could only do so within 2 minutes, so I didn't really have the opportunity. Sound was one of the trickier elements to work with. I included voiceover since it is common in coming-of-age genre. I was not able to follow through on using soundtracks since I did not have the rights to any music, so I made a melodramatic playlist. I took inspiration from silent films, which used melodramatic incidental music to convey emotion, controversy, alter pace, and establish tone. I obviously modernized the style, but I kept the primary purpose of conveying emotion and tone. There was also ambient noise, which I did not plan for. However, I embraced it. Mise-en-scène was the largest contributing factor in expressing the representation of depression. I used 4 main themes: palette shift, which is lighting, body language, clothing and props, and tone of voice. For palette shift, I wanted to make sure that I incorporated a camera element from the coming-of-age genre in my film opening. I started off with cool tones to create a sad atmosphere, and gradually made the shots warmer toned as coping mechanisms were introduced. This was the one camera element that I thought about the most, since coming-of-age movies are pretty flexible with types of shots, movements, and angles used. For body language, during the first half of the opening film, Ava's body language conveys depression through positions such as slouched shoulders. Her facial expression is also very bland, which changes to a relieved smile as she tries to embrace her circumstances. For the clothing, I chose neutral colors to symbolize a lack of caring. Then I set in the theme of isolation by integrating the laptop, which represents the stressor of school, and the tablet, which represents a single way of external communication. I then used the notebook to symbolize hope and creativity, which is enhanced by cheesy sayings such as "dream big" on the cover. For tone of voice, in the beginning, I inputted a voiceover conveying Avery's frustration, setting a tone of inner turmoil. I continued this with the dialogue and then relieved it with the final voiceover, showing that she is coming to terms with her living circumstances.